So my interest in attention concerns the hand and the topos of handling as the index of an ethos of attentiveness or a style of attention. I want to ask, how do the different dispositions of the hand in its relation to objects and to others express, impose, or communicate an existential or moral attitude? And how might these dispositions shape our interpretive and attentional styles? If the disposition, shape, or position of the hand embodies a way of dealing with others or with objects, if grasping, for example, does violence to the other, or can do violence to the other through restraint and appropriative intent, can the violence and conflict of intersubjective relations and interpretative styles be inflected differently through careful attention to the disposition of the hand or through different ways of handling? Are there specific dispositions of the hand which embody caring or solicitude? While my project will pursue answers to these questions through discussion of a corpus of works in literature, philosophy, critical theory, and psychoanalysis, mostly from French contexts, it will be directed throughout towards the elaboration of an ethos of handling pertinent to what I call solicitous attention, where this expresses a non-appropriative and non-violent form of interpersonal and interpretative relationality and a therapeutic praxis with relevance in professional, political, and personal contexts. But it will equally be measured against the hypothesis that attending to someone or something involves the risk of violence inherent in intersubjectivity or object relations themselves. And in this light, the topos of this solicitous handling looks more like a form of theoretical wish fulfillment. So two brief examples. In Conditions Handsome and Unhandsome, the American philosopher Stanley Cavell quotes this sentence from Emerson's essay Experience. Quote, "I take this evanescence and lubricity of all objects, which lets them slip through our fingers when we clutch hardest, to be the most unhandsome part of our condition." End of quote. Cavell interprets that what is unhandsome is what happens when, quote, "we conceive thinking, say the application of concepts in judgments, as grasping something, say synthesizing." And this prepares for Cavell a reference to Heidegger in order to establish an affinity between Emerson and Heidegger. For both of them, clutching's opposite, what Cavell calls clutching's opposite, is the attractiveness of things for Emerson, or the sense of being drawn to things for Heidegger. For Cavell, the rightful claim of the world to our attention is put as, quote, "our capacity to receive the world." To clutch, then, is to take when what the world, for these thinkers, asks for us is to receive its gift open-handedly. In this neat conundrum, an economy of appropriation and gift and an ethics of extraction and reception are figured by gestures of the hand. I want to ask how this argument relates to attending to others and to things, and how it plays out in the ways we attend to things like texts in reading and interpretation, for example. Second example is from an essay called Painting in the Grotto by the French philosopher Jean-Luc Nancy, where he considers the image of the negative hand in prehistoric cave art. He writes, "The hand pressed against the wall grasps nothing. It is no longer a prehensile hand, but is offered like the form of an impossible or abandoned grasp, a grasp that could as well let go, the grasp of a letting go, the letting go of form." So this is not a hand that grasps at one which is open. It is not a straightforward opposition, but an alteration of the grasp that Nancy is considering here. With the formulation, the grasp of a letting go, Nancy conceives of the negative hand as an abandoned grasp, a play between grasping and letting go. But I also think that something more happens with the negative hand. The open hand, pressed against the rock, cannot grasp anything. It seizes nothing. Pressed against a surface, it recognizes a limit to its grasp and its prehensility, which is the world, or more exactly matter, the matter of stone, and yet still the limit of an internal space, perhaps also the limit to attention. To think, what Nancy calls the grasp of letting go, is precisely the task for a thinking of a care and attention, since it suspends and draws back from the assertive grasp the intentional intrusion. It speaks perhaps of a mode of attention which oscillates between judgment, the clutching of interpretation, and the receptive encounter with the other or the object. So my contention then to conclude is that the dispositions of the hand or the figures of the hand translate different styles of attention and attentiveness, and the recurrence of the topos of handling in mainly French thought can be the index of an inquiry into the ethics of attention and care. Thank you.